everyone. I'm Death by Food Tray, also known as Tanner, and today I will be working on putting together this Fairy Queen, I think is what she was actually called. Um, but yeah, so I know I had said that we were going to work on finishing up the squig or runt herder, but I had done some recording and lost a bit of it, so I'm going to have to somehow either re-record it or just not do that. But yeah, so for now we'll just move forward and go ahead and start on this guy or girl in this case. So here is the model. Right now I've got it in three pieces. I've already attached the head. This here is the base with some vines and flowers and whatnot. So it should be a lot of fun. I've already primed everything. This video will be primarily working on the base, though I will do a little bit with the horns and the vines around the wings, since I'm using the same paint for the vines on the base as I am for the vines on the wings. But yeah, so far it's been interesting trying to get everything lined up a little bit here. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there is a little bit of milliput that I had to use to hold the horns on, and I didn't clean up the base or the back of the model quite as much as I thought I had. That primer really shows everything, so yeah, I'm just kind of scraping it off a little bit with my nails, trying to get some of that off. But yeah, so I'll clean the model up just a little bit more. Like I said, primer, I didn't see all these little dots and spots from the printing before I primed it, but then once it got primed, it just kind of noticed all the little imperfections and blemishes and stuff. But yeah, so this is her. Like I said, I had to use a little milliput to fill a gap on the horns there at the top to attach that and make it not have a big gap, but I'm going to be able to cover that up pretty easily. And I think it should look really, really nice once I'm done painting. And then, as I said, here's the wings. Just some feathered wings, a little bit of vines on top. I definitely think that the wings are going to be a challenge. It's a little more than anything I've ever tried to do before. And then, yeah, here I'm just kind of pointing out the hands and show like that's the vines wrapping in there. So, but yeah, these wings should be a lot of fun. I'll definitely be using some techniques I've never done before. One of the things I'm doing with this is I'm actually using the Army Painter speed paint for the vines and the wood. I've never actually used it before, so should be interesting. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and kind of just show you this is how the model is going to be together, and then she will sit down into that base, kind of standing like regally out of the vines. But let's go ahead and get started with it. So my airbrush died on me, so I was not able to do the zenithal highlight like I wanted to. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to take some of this white paint and just kind of hit a few spots, kind of almost like a zenithal highlight would be. Obviously the paint's going to be a little thicker and a little darker, or I guess a little more than I would normally do with the highlighting, but I think doing it this way I should still be able to make some highlighting under the base color, and then of course I'll go back and actually do some edge highlighting and stuff on the different areas. But I know with the speed paint that one of the things they said is to do it over white or light gray, which would this is a light gray, so it should be fine. But it said I have seen some stuff and heard that doing the speed paint, the thing with contrast and stuff, over a zenithal highlight really improves how well everything looks once it all dries. It adds, the highlights and depth to the shadows and all that kind of stuff. So um, yeah, I'll go ahead and do a little bit of this. Looks like I did not do a very good job of keeping this on camera. I apologize. I'm again still amateur at this, still trying to learn. I've playing around with a few different camera angles as well. Um, I know my last video I think was a little more above, maybe I can't remember. I know I had it set up differently than I do now, so maybe it was the same angle. But I'm trying to to figure out what's going to work best for me here with the setup that I have. So just bear with me on some of these bad camera angles. I'll try to cut out as much as I can and just show the actual model here. But yeah, so I'll do a little bit of this highlighting here, and I'll be back. So now that I've done a little bit of the white highlighting here, I'm going to come back now with this, or actually come in with this speed paint by Army Painter here. This was the satchel color, I believe. I can't remember exactly offhand. I'll have the colors that I used at the end. I'll show them. I didn't end up using all the colors you see on screen here, but I used a few of them. But yeah, so I'll just kind of go over everything with this Army Painter speed paint here, and try to fill in a little more pigment in some of the recesses so that it does actually add a little more depth and shadow, and then hopefully it picks up some of these highlights as well. I will say I've obviously gone back and doing a voiceover here on this, but I was very happy with how this came out. It really didn't take a whole lot of work or time to get it to a point where I think it looks really good. So definitely recommend, especially for anything if you're trying to do quick painting, or if you have a large area you wanting to shade and highlight all kind of at the same time. You're not trying to go super detailed with, or if you are, you use this as a base and then go over it, do some edge highlighting, do some black lining, and add some color into the shadows and depths. I think this is a really good way, at least if nothing else, to get a base layer down and kind of get you started down the right path. I mean, I could be very much wrong on that. Again, I'm an amateur at this. I'm definitely still new to painting. All in all, I have way less experience than a lot of the guys out there, a lot of the other channels and stuff on YouTube that I watch. I've learned a lot from them. So yeah, I'm definitely just trying to learn as I go, and just made this channel as a way to kind of share that and see if anybody else out there is interested in watching somebody paint or learning how to paint themselves. I'm definitely always happy to give advice where I can or help out, with anything I can. Granted, I'm not claiming to be any kind of expert, but definitely enjoy painting and always want to see more people get into the hobby. So yeah, I'll just kind of let this run for a minute. I'll let you watch as I put this base layer down and just kind of what happens, and the magic, I guess to say, would be of what shows up as the paint starts to dry and everything. And again, like I said, I'm very happy with how this turned out for something quick and just as a base layer to go down. But yeah. finished horns as well as the wings here. I didn't record all of the painting, or any of the painting really, of the wings. There's the other one. So I just wanted to show those. And then here we are, the final painting of the base as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually go in and add a little more white, cover up some of this brown that I got a little too much on the feathers there, or the not the feathers, wow. A little bit too much on the petals and on the leaves of the flowers. So I will go back in and touch those up a little bit, and then we're going to actually paint all of the flowers. So I'll be right back. I just want to kind of show you the final step here before I started, or before I did a little bit of cleanup, and then I'll show you what it's like after I cleaned it all up. So now that we've got it all cleaned up, we will go ahead and start on these flowers. Like I said, I went back over it with some white and fix some of the areas. I left some just to see how it would do with making some of it look a little darker in some of the more shadowed areas. But yeah, so I've got this yellow, I've got this purple, and this kind of bluish purple. I ended up not using the yellow. I thought about it at first, and I decided just to go with the more purpley purple, I guess. I don't know what color that should actually be called, but the lighter purple. I decided to go with that color more for the leaves, or the petals, sorry. As you see here, just kind of going all over the petals. And then I come back in with the more bluish purple, and I actually mix in some of that dark purple that's in the back there, or back of my wet palette. You can't see it to my hand right now, but some of that dark purple with that bluish purple, and I make that color for the center of the flowers. And then you can see the green there. I actually was painting another model for my son yesterday, and that's where the orange, the purple, and the green that were already on the palette came from. But so yeah, this is the next day where I'm actually going back and painting the flowers. But yeah, so I use that green on the leaves, on anything that would be like a leaf, not actually part of the flower itself. So yeah, I'll just kind of show a little bit of the painting here. We're going to speed it up a little bit, and then I will come back and show you the kind of final product here. But yeah, this is definitely a lot of fun to work on.